Hey guys, Exploring with Chelsea here. This is part 2 of the Pima Air and Space Museum. If you haven't seen the first one, please go back and watch that because I think you'd really enjoy it. We were able to hit up the Military Vehicle Museum, which opened just shy of a year ago. And we didn't get to go to the other place, which was abandoned, but it was fine. Kathleen and I will make another trip to that in the future, hopefully real soon. But because there's news coming out about that company that used to own that building and so much. So I'm kind of excited for that, but that's for a different video. The Military Museum, the Vehicle Museum actually just opened up, like I said, just shy of a year ago. And it was a first for me because the last time Kathleen and I came out to the Air and Space Museum, that had not been opened yet. It opened like a week later from when we were there. So I do hope that you guys enjoy this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hang out for more adventures, and enjoy the video, guys.
Yeah, there's Chelsea.
Guys, I found it. Here's my real identity. Area 51. I found it. It's right here on the Pima Air and Space Museum. Just come see it and enjoy the different planes that are here on display and everything like that as well. They've actually got 2 in there, but I'll show you the other one. They're working on it. There's the other plane. There's the first one that I showed you.
You can step up. Step up. Step up. Step up. One more.
That guy, he used to be at Luke Air Force Base. I got to go inside of him when he was at Luke. There's his wingspan. But yeah, this guy, when we had him at Luke Air Force Base, I got to go inside and I got to see him. And he was so awesome. Look at this. I wish you guys can smell. You can smell the mechanics and everything. And then the bomb, and then the track that it was on. I wish you could smell. Smell all of this. I don't know if any of you served that watch my videos, if any of you served, you probably know that smell all too well. Just to give you an idea, that's a person curled up. Well, it's a dummy, but it's somebody curled up to run. This. But there. You kind of see, I know this is the bad angle, but how he had to see in order to... And look at this. And this is your view. That's their uniforms, guys. It's their uniform for this guy right here. And then, there you go. So other points of interest. The different types of
wingtip to wingtip. He turns, you turn. We climb, you climb.
people were definitely small back in that day.
Got them both.
My head is touching. This is the tail of this bad boy. So he's trying not to, but as you can see, it's the tail end of the tail fin of him, and then the wing. So just to give it to you. Look at that little guy. Joyous Joyce, which is this little guy. He's 37 feet and 37 and a half feet long. He could go, damn, look at that. He can go 600 miles an hour. And then look at that. Look at those wings. Fold them up for easy storage. Look at that bad boy. He's a 4-engine. And look at this guy. He's a 2-person. One guy that sits here and one guy that sits over here. Shoot down the targets. Air operated door. And this also had guns. Look at those guys. Again, we had the bombs that came down here, 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 and here. And then that's where the wheels would go up. We had a step right there, a step over here, and then another. See, there you go, there's the bombs. So you have one on that track, one on that track, one there, and then one there. And then
each side.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. And somebody had to fish them, like feed them through. So, let's see if I can zoom in on that. Bomb rack location D. A, so I guess A. So that was A, B, C. Oh no, because there's. All right, guys. The USS Sable, and then the Wolverine. I did not realize that they stored the planes on their side. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misinterpreting this, if anybody knows the truth. But I know this is what the ships look like. Because I know that the ships nowadays, they just fold up the wings like they do here and then just bring them below deck. And that's how they store them. But I don't think that's how they, because based off of right here and right here, I don't think that's how they did it back in the day. And you got, that's a parachute cords, harness, regulator, life raft repair kit, pilot hanky, and then navigating piloting or plotting wheel. So these are the uniforms. This is your winter for the women. And then Army Corps. Yeah, you've got Kathleen and I were just talking that when my father joined the military, his military enrollment photo, he looked like he was 10 years old. He was such a baby in that photo. That's your Far East and Pacific. And then your battle dress. But that's your Far East and Pacific. And then look at those guys. Royal Navy Fleet Air Arm. Oh, your captain. It's the captain. And then the leather flying helmet. Battle dress uniform, and then what you wore. Your helmet. I got the USS Arizona before. So that was destroyed. You can actually see. It's in Hawaii on December 7th. The Department of the Veterans Affairs actually has a piece of the USS Arizona. Look at that, the organization house. There you go, there's a piece of the salvage steel from the USS Arizona. And this is rested at the VA. Look at that. Pause it here to read, guys. One of our tanks. But yeah, look at this. You can actually, a lot of the planes nowadays, you fold up to General Motors. It's the 3E bomber, Avenger. That's its dynamics. But yeah, look at this bad boy. Folded up wings, Then you've got one of the wings on that bad boy is huge too. You got this. So this is new. This is at the military museum right next to door, the vehicle museum, which we'll head up in a second. But look at this. So see that? It's under the wing of this bad boy. This is a Coast Guard. Yes, Coast Guard. But look at his wings. He's huge. You can always pause it here. And then look at the wingspan. This is the first time we get to be up here. We've never been up on the second floor because it's always been closed. But this is everything in this hangar. But there you go, there, look at that thing. Can't even fit it all in one shot because it's so big. But look, this guy right here. It's an instrument trainer. And then just kind of Yep, one of the lifeboats, airborne lifeboats. So, where you guys go? You can pause it here, but look, so there, that's where it sat. Holds up to 15 passengers. Wow. Some damage done, but still. Get the salt.
See it in her eyes. Alright, just walk down now. Down the stairs. Yep.
Alright guys, for you youngins, I'm a bit young for it, but I do remember watching when this particular show came on. It meant for me to go to bed. But the show was MASH. And coming here, seeing a lot of this stuff reminds me of that TV show. And it's so funny because when I was out visiting my uncle and my aunt over the summer, back in July of 25, so just a couple months ago, so 9 months ago, it was funny because they were watching the reruns of MASH and it brought back memories. Like I said, when that show came on, that was my cue that it was bedtime. And a lot of this stuff here is what they used during that time because it was based off wartime. And it's bringing back memories. Like this guy, and we are going to head over to the military vehicle museum. We just finished up our last bit here, and we're going to head on. We're going to figure out how we can go next door to see the military museum for the vehicles and go from there. So stick around. Depending, it might be a 2-part video, but we'll find out. So stick around, guys. So, this is one thing I love about the Air and Space Museum is that it does move around. It's stock that comes and goes. They do move things around. This guy, the stealthers, were not here. The USS Kitty Hawk, which is on the other side of this, you could kind of see him, was actually right here. And now he's not. I mean, we've got this guy. And it's just, I love that they move things around and they keep things fresh here. Just to give you guys an idea that you can come. Look at that. The U-boats. There's the old sirens when war was happening. Look at that plane, and then just to kind of give you an idea.
Well, now, we're gonna go see more places, okay? We got other places to go see.
So this is very similar to the uniform that my dad had. That's like what my dad had when he was in the Navy. And this is your sub. That one's the Soviet, but the U.S. American uniforms for Navy are very similar to it. This is all Soviet. And then this is, so this indicates right here, this indicates the water line, and then this is the submarine. And then look, this is a missile. It's coming to sink it. So it's coming to strike it. Japanese. Okay, sonar records.
The sound on this and the following record were recorded during actual anti-submarine operations of carrier-based planes in the Atlantic in the early summer of 1944.
During World War I.
Each plane was equipped with an airborne magnetic wire recorder connected to the sonobuoy receiver and to the intercom system. The recordings began when one of the planes on patrol made radar contact with a submarine on the surface. As the plane approached, the submarine started to submerge. A sonobuoy was dropped. Since it was not the improved 1A buoy, ringing microphonic sounds were present. There were also buzzing noises due to electrical interference from the ignition system of the plane. Nevertheless, rhythmic swishing propeller beats could be heard plainly. Listen to the propeller beats over the sonobuoy and note that they are very similar to those produced by our own small S-type submarines.
So look at this, guys. It's a flying automobile. Guys, so the car's got that plane up there and you got the chopper, but look at this. The Air Force stuff. Okay. This guy is the guy that's right here overhead. Stuffers. And then we can go into the fire engine here in a moment, but it's a Lockheed. Didn't realize these things were as big as they were. Look at that. Look at the See this guy right here. Is this guy right here. Hunter Ewing. So when I worked at the base, I actually got to go into one of those guys right there. It was pretty cool. You're hearing the sirens from right there.
Dina, other side. Hi.
For fire trucks back in the day. For military. Oh, I hear her. I hear her on the... I remember those stickers. Still see them all the time. I'm actually gonna go up right now.
Yeah, that's not a step. You did the same thing I did. I don't know if I can get in though. It's that last step that's a doozy.
This is the top of the engine, guys. There's the stuff. Just an FYI. Right there where Kathleen is standing is a pain in the rear end to get your butt up into this fire truck. Just an FYI, guys. Kathleen and I both struggled. Look at this. Can't really see because of... So it's right now set to foam. You have off and then water. Buckle up, fasten seatbelts, and adjust head restraints. And you got the coolant and all that.
You can see if you when you come out.
And then you have...
It's right here. Meanwhile, it's even a little wobbly.
Jeez, and then you have this handle right here, which discharge this. Oh, your radio. And you got these guys too. And then this feels very, very, very funny because it's so that you don't smack your head, but still, it's very funny. And then, all right, guys, Kathleen and I are in heaven because, yeah, we're looking at cameras in the military, introduced to do aerials and mapping, military, civilian aerial mapping, and reconnaissance. And then, you remember back in the day when they used to use those?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that bad boy. I would hate to have... It's a good thing that these things were on planes because these bad boys are heavy to carry. I would not want to carry these things. There's another camera, guys.
All right, we'll miss impatient.
All right, we are at the Military Museum, Vehicle Museum, sorry, Vehicle Museum here in Tucson. The planes, as you can see, are right over here. That's where we were just at. Bravo Company. That's where this bad boy served.
That's not a boat, that's a tank.
Came in from Saudi Arabia. Went out to Kuwait. Marine Division. Active December 15th, 1990. And deactivated 5 months later. The company captured this tank in Kuwait City following 4 days of combat, during which the company destroyed 119 Iraqi vehicles and took 474 passengers in 4 separate engagements. Dang. It was a 3-man crew that can fit into it. And right up against these mountains is where Davis Monthan Air Force Base is. Being a child of a veteran, it's awesome being able to assist our veterans. Gallery entrance. Okay, this is where I become a big kid again. And, they just opened up in March of 2025. All the different helmets that they had. German helmets. And then there, Japanese machinery. Here's the US. And look at that. Definitely smell the oil from the mechanics on these vehicles to keep them in tip-top shape. Scout car. So that was the scout car. But look at this, the Ford gun carrier. Action shot. This place is so cool, guys. They just opened up, like I said, in March of last year. So they're a week shy of their 1-year anniversary. Entered into service in 1940. These bad boys right here. Oh my gosh, the MP's military police. 1940. Top speed is 65 miles an hour.
We were down that way. So
Yeah, but that's the way out to go look outside.
yeah, but oh yeah, I guess we looked at some of these.
No, we looked at it.
No, we looked at those down there.
Ambulance, that's the MP. This is your police ambulance. Right here. They throw you in the back. Weapon carrier. I cannot show you all this, guys. So you're gonna just get a quick once over. This place is so cool. There's just so much to show off. Alright, this was during, this was 2004. This was...
Ready? Go outside? Oh man, there's not much out there. Yeah, well, we paid for it, that's what they have.
So this was during when right after we got attacked on September 11th in 2001. This was the Iraqi Freedom Iraq. Can't even remember it anymore. The name that they had. But this was one of the vehicles that they had in 2004. And then this guy too. But these vehicles. Operation Iraqi Freedom. There we go. That's during 2004 era. This one's 1970. The one that we just looked at, this guy, 1970. It was mine detection. Okay. And look at this bad boy. I lost Kathleen, by the way. $62 to $80. Alright guys, some of those. Oh, I remember this bad boy. It's one of ours. It's a Hellcat, yeah, that's what I thought. It's a Hellcat from 43. Yeah, I remember that was very big for me to learn about growing up. And you got this bad boy.
What the heck is this?
Caterpillar. It's a grader. Motor grader.
That looks like the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
And these guys. This was during yeah. There are so many of these things that are still in the bottom of the ocean, in all honesty, from the 1940s. And I kid you not, I will find out. I will try to get a name of the place to tell you, so that you guys can look it up. But there's a bunch of these at the bottom of the ocean. It's called Drain the Ocean, but I forget what episode, and I'll try to look it up so that you guys can see. $41. These vehicles are ginormous, guys. I am so happy that these things are, that this is finally open so we can see it. Heavy wrecker. And more of our boats. It's an assault craft from the Marines. Hoorah! Look at this, guys. These bad boys right here. Look at the bison. guarantee you, 2006. Yeah. Again, this is during. I wonder if that's. This was off Operation Iraqi Freedom. I have a friend that served here that I used to work with that served in Army, and he looks just like this gentleman. But yeah. Look at that. Got a little propeller. Because this is right here. Snow goose. That's what they did. That's why they had that. Tell you the weather to help you determine Canada 42. Here you go. Look at that. It's right here. Oh, see. Tires. They come up to almost my shoulders, guys. And I'm not very tall, but 83. It's a launcher. Missile launcher. And it usually would tow that bad boy behind it. So mission accomplished in a 10-year period. Look at that, guys. It's the missile launcher. And there's another one. So you get two different ones. This one too. This one's from the 80s as well. Look at this little guy right here. Little buggy. Performance truck, the mule. I know it was 56, so it was 30 years before I was born, but dang, they still had similar ones when I was, they still have them, similar ones to this day. But that's a missile launcher right there. And this bad boy. That was MASH era. And look at this tanker. 72, yeah. The buggies that came in. Do you know how many of these things are down in the bottom of the ocean right now? Drain the Ocean tells you. They actually found a whole crap ton of them. A cougar, again, during Operation Iraqi Freedom. This was when I was a kid. Young teenager, sorry. I'll have to come back up and go through here.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot.
Yeah. It's just amazing at all these Those guys I remember during Iraqi freedom. And look at this bad boy. He looks funny. 44. Special 4x4 prime mover. See, this is how they came over. These guys, they would come over on the boats.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, and a lot of these boats are also down in the bottom of the ocean. Because that day was horrible. We lost so many men over there. There you go, scout cars. Fuel trucks. Look at that. How they carried their fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Little babies. I know it says it's American, but doesn't this street remind you of something that you'd see in England?
Uh-huh.
And then here's your little Harley Davidson military motorcycles. Yeah, I remember seeing these guys again. MASH era. A lot of you guys are too young to understand what MASH is, but you have to look it up and watch at least an episode to see what we're talking about. Germany. Oh, look at this. Yep, German army. Germany. And then they got some display cases for stuff that's coming around. Inside of one of the tanks. This is one from 2004. This is inside one of the tanks. And then you can see where they had their gun up there. Some of these vehicles were made when I was a teenager. Load test date March 20th, 2018. Capacity 70,000 pounds. Wow. So that's recent. That's only 6 years ago. – 2003, look at that. It had all of its mine protected. So they detected, see right here you can see they detected landmines. First produced in 2009. Yeah. The last Buffalo truck was completed in 2014.
Go behind. The other way. That way. Look at that one. That was a line behind it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was just, this one's And that was from the 70s. They haven't changed much since. From 2000, you know, when they entered in Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, this vehicle that I just showed in like 2 seconds ago is, look at this. Look at the tires. Okay? They're huge. These vehicles, they're not small. They're not small, guys. They're huge. They're here to protect. And as you see, there's England. There's some England ones over there, mostly American. 1 or 2 Canadian vehicles. This one, look at that. Yeah, this is Iraqi armed forces. That's what I thought. 61. Jeez. Japan. I don't know. Yom Kippur War. Which, of course, the personal carrier. 54. $1960. Jeez. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I do enjoy putting these videos on for you guys. It everything that we do, gas, food, hotels, flights, anything like that comes straight out of our own pocket. So it's not cheap to do this, but it is a lot of fun to do this as well. I enjoy putting on these videos so that people can see what is out there that they may not be aware of, as well as for those who may not be able to travel and would like to. Sometimes people, like in that kind of situation, live vicariously through others because they don't have the way to travel like the rest of us. So no matter what brought you to my videos, I hope you are enjoying them, and I hope that you guys are enjoying all my other videos as well as future videos to come. If you guys have any suggestions, please don't forget to send them to me, and I will see how I can go about doing that, because like I said, everything comes out of pocket for me and it's not cheap, but I do still enjoy this. And that's also why I put my handles up, so that you can donate if you guys want to. It's not an obligation, it's just if you want to. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hang out for more adventures, and thanks so much for watching.